Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, where in today's episode we're going to be talking about you are not too much. When you hear this sentence, you're too much for me, this is too much for me, what actually is being said is I don't have the capacity to be able to hold you in the container that is best serving for you. In the therapeutic world, that's called the window of tolerance. Each and every single one of us has this capacity that we call it the window of tolerance in the therapeutic world, that it can be this big or it can be this big. The more that we are able to expand our own window of tolerance, the more we are literally able to tolerate not only our own mishaps, our own disappointments, our own heartaches, our own challenges, our own uncomfortable feelings that come with life day in and day out, the more capacity we're going to have to hold somebody else in that same space. This is Anna Morfides with Any Hearts Counseling. Almost finished my therapeutic counseling diploma and sharing information so we can live our best life within ourselves and in all of our connections, whether it's romantic, platonic, in the work environment, any other life experience, sharing information that has truly helped me change my life and finally start living happy instead of in a state of suffering. So this is something that I am very familiar with. You're too much, you're too needy, you're too this, you're too that. And seriously, I'm so grateful that I understood I was attracting this type of masculine energy because I didn't really know yet what I was worth. So if you're finding yourself in situations where they're saying that to you, that is essentially like a call from higher power, God, source energy, to look into why do we start to believe that? Why are we believing that we're too much? Where did we learn this story? And we're going to keep finding people that say that to us until we realize and understand that it's not really us. We also don't have the capacity to hold ourselves in the capacity that we're asking for that person to hold us. So when we do our work and we understand that we're not too much, and perhaps we need to raise our self-confidence, or we don't have enough self-worth, or we have unhelpful core beliefs, self-love is not where it should be, we are super critical in our heads about ourselves. What is it that is being shown to you in that moment? Because I had this amazing question the other day. How does one increase capacity? The way to increase capacity, first you have to work on yourself. Not you have to, but it's the most ideal that you start to increase the capacity that you have for your own self. How do you feel about yourself when you make a quote unquote mistake, an error, or you screw up? Or do you have anxiety? Do you feel depression? Do you feel that your self-talk is negative? What capacity do you have for yourself for the days that you wake up in the morning and you don't feel good? Or do you wake up every day and don't feel good? What's the capacity of compassion and love that you have for yourself on any given point in time? Not when you're doing your best or everything is fine and dandy. Ourself needs ourself when we are down and make errors and or screw up the most. That is when it counts the most. So what capacity do we have for ourselves in those moments? Once we start to truly be in a space of unconditional love and acceptance of who we are, then and only then can we start to create change in our outside world. Marsha Linehan from Dialectical Behavioral Therapy has really structured this in her therapeutic model of DBT, Dialectical Behavioral Therapy. No change can be created unless there is acceptance. Acceptance of what is. Acceptance of the wounds and the lessons and the childhood patterns that we're repeating, acceptance of all the discomfort that we've experienced in our relationships because they're the best mirror in what's going on in our inside world. And that inside world was created when we were children, outside of our own control, just purely by the environment that we were immersed in. So what is it that you are needing in order to not feel that you are too much? And then once you start to do your work and you fill your own cup and you truly, truly believe that you are not too much, and without a doubt, there is going to be someone out there that will have the capacity and the capability and an expanded window of tolerance, like we say in the therapeutic world, to hold you in that space because they're mirroring your capacity and your window of tolerance to hold yourself unconditionally in that space. And believe me, that does exist. It happens all the time. Energy is very simple. It works by assertion, and like attracts like. This law can never be altered and or changed. This is just what is. Like a gravity, 9.81 meters per square second. It's happening at all times. This is how things are just kept, right? 9.81 meters per square second, like everything. So it stays centered on the ground. Same with the law of energy. Everything will be attracting its likeness. So the more you work on your capacity to love yourself no matter what, to build boundaries, to show universe that you know your worth, that you're not willing to settle for breadcrumbing, you're not willing to settle for anxiety-ridden connections, because also those are just also showing us that perhaps there is anxiety living in our body that needs to be healed. So then we thank them. So then we thank these people for showing us. We don't hide in the corner and cry and be like, oh my God, I am too much, because that's what I did for the longest time ever, until I went to school and I realized I'm not too much. I'm just an unhealed version of self. So I keep attracting all these people that keep showing me that I'm too much, because I needed to know that I am perfect and lovable exactly the way that I am. So then I can attract someone in my life who will feel the exact same way about me. So recapitulating these patterns and repeating, when someone says to you, you are too much, this is too much for me. Literal translation, I don't have the capacity to hold you in your container. So we attract the amount of unhealedness that we have from within us is what is going to attract a person. So it's not because this person is bad, because they don't have the capacity. They're mirroring our capacity. So there's no wrong or right. It's just what is. Like energetically, that's just what is. But then when you think about it, then that's a gift. So then slowly, as you start to increase your capacity for yourself and your self-love and your awareness, self-responsibility, looking into your thoughts and your feelings and your actions, really anchoring in positivity, gratitude, self-love, watch your frequency be met then by someone else who's going to mirror back to you that. Because the more you expand your capacity to hold yourself in anything, the more you're going to be attracting someone who's also able to hold you in that capacity. Therefore, you drop this idea that you're too much, because that was the learning curve that you needed to learn, much like me. Right? Because as a child, I wasn't able to express anything. It was too much for my mom, but my mom was like super suffering herself. She had a terrible upbringing. So she didn't have the capacity to like literally hold me there. Therefore, I learned this very early on in life that if I express emotion and or feelings, I'm too much and I'm not worthy and I'm unlovable and all these other things. So I kept attracting people that would say the same things to me. And I would be like, why is this happening? Well, it was happening for me because I needed to just elevate my self-love so then others can come meet me in that same frequency. This is true, and so many of us have experienced this. I promise you, it's all in your control. It doesn't feel like it's in control. It is in our control in that moment where we are receiving this feedback, because we are so much in our wounds. But once we shift out of that perspective and truly step out and see what's happening, we don't need to crawl into a rock and really take that to be true. What serves us best is to come out of that corner and underneath that rock and truly embrace, I am perfect exactly as I am, And know without a doubt, there will be someone coming in that can hold you in that container. And I know it's going to feel scary once you heal and then you test the waters through connections, because the fear that's immersed in our body of repeating the same patterns, of hearing the same thing over and over, is very much alive. And it's not the easiest to beat it, because the body is very strong and unconsciously sending signals of what is already absorbed and has lived and taken place over and over. So when that fear comes in, just go back to trust and knowing, I am safe. I am perfect exactly as I am. The right person will be able to come and meet me. I will be the perfect amount of everything for them, because they're going to be the perfect amount of everything for them too. The more you heal, the more healed version of a person you have. And it's not to say that someone who's not healed is not a good person. Like, I can't say that I was a bad person when I was unhealed. I was just unhealed. Therefore, I needed people to show me what would serve best for me to heal. That's why I would have those experiences. Now, nobody would ever say that to me, because I don't think that about me. I don't think that I'm too much. I'm just a human having a human experience, and I'm allowed to have emotions. And someone who has also done their work and has worked on their awareness, self-responsibility, accountability, and all those beautiful things, then they're going to be able to match me in that caliber as well. So then I don't ever have to fear that I'm just going to end up being too much for my entire life, because that's not true. I hope that this short little video is going to be super helpful in your journey in becoming the right amount of you, because you are the right amount of you at any given point in time. And just have trust in knowing that the right person will come. And then when you are that experience and you fear the old patterns, just know that it's your misguided ally, aka ego, trying to keep you recapitulated in the unhelpful old patterns. But you can definitely break out of them, because you now know that you deserve way more. And you might get tested by universe, and universe might bring you someone that says that. And then watch yourself. Don't lessen yourself to be able to allow that person to be okay with the container that they have. No, you say, no, thank you. I know what I am worth now. I know that I am perfect and enough just exactly as I am. I'm not too much. I am the perfect amount. And the person with the right amount of capacity will come and meet me. And you trust that with every single cell of your body. You don't fear it. And then when you have trust and you let go of who it's going to be, when it's going to be, it will come. That's the beauty of letting go and not attaching or having expectations to any outcomes, because you might not be able to see who's the right person for you, but you better believe that creator, source energy, that greater power does. And they will definitely bring that person in for you when you are ready and you have done the work. And progressively, as you do your work, you're going to be met by that caliber, and then so on and so on and so on. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them below. I love to hear from you. With all my love and gratitude, always, thank you for tuning in. I'm so grateful to be here with you, sharing these experiences and helping myself and the rest of us just truly live our best life and truly embrace and unconditionally love ourselves so much that the world has no choice but to give us experience and opportunities that reflect just that. That's it. With all my love, I'll see you next time.